Hello, beautiful yogis, coming onto your mat again, waking up each day and offering yourself to the next higher version of who you're going to become. So today we're going to focus on Aparigraha. Actually, it's on my arm, and it's about letting go. And all of us need to let go. We carry so much with us from the past, so much in our bodies, so much on our hearts and in our minds. And today we're going to work on a power flow in our body positions, or our asanas. And in our minds and in the spirit, we're going to work on letting go. So some of the sequences should help you let go of things physically from the body, and we'll have the intention in our hearts and minds to come onto our mat to practice today and think of other things that we can let go in our lives that may have us just traveling forward with greater physical and mental economy. So let's begin. All right, so here we go. Let's start with a deep breath up, circling the arms to the sky. Feel the ribs lift out of the abdominal cavity, lengthening the back. Exhaling, hands down to heart center into our namaste gesture. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Not just raising the arms, but try to raise the spine. Exhaling, let's turn that namaste gesture in towards our own selves. Continuing on your breath, starting with slower, longer inhales. And exhaling with slower, longer exhales. And remembering that our namaste gesture is the symbolic of the fact that each one of us has a divine light and a spark within us. It's beautiful, it's radiant, it's worthy of respect. And as we're turning that namaste gesture in towards ourselves, we're saying that to ourselves. And the rest of our day, let's treat ourselves that way, as though we're worthy of respect at our deepest level, as though there's a bit of divine within all of us. One more time, sweeping our arms up. And this time, placing your hands on your knees and getting hit by a cannonball in your belly. And look down at the damage. Inhale, pull your heart forward and lifting it up. Spinal extension, stretching the anterior spine and organs. Exhaling, coiling the belly in. Looking down with the gaze. Again, inhaling up. And exhaling back, feeling that spine stretch, the heart going out the back door of the shoulder blades. This time, let's sweep the arms up. Stay tall. Rotate like a barbershop pole over towards the right. Nice tall spine into rotation. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up like we're lifting a shelf. Exhaling, pressing that shelf down, staying tall in the spine, rotating to the left. Let's do that a few times. The repetitive nature is the most soothing to the body and also to the nervous system. As we continue to steadily breathe in and continue to steadily, deeply, and slowly breathe out, we're starting to switch that dimmer switch of our central nervous system a little bit more towards the rest and digest, calmer side, and away from the fight or flight side, and all of the hormones and chemicals that our stress response and fight or flight trigger releases into the bloodstream. So continue with those breaths. And this time, let's sweep the arms up. Guide the left hand down towards the tag of the shirt. Your gaze will dip, your face dipping, but we're still tall from our hips to our armpits. Inhaling the arms up, looking at the hands, exhaling a downward gaze, and guiding the right hand towards the tag of the shirt. Your energy should be used to sit tall through the spine, but not used in the jaw, the toes, or the inner thighs right now. Let's sweep the arms back up and just leaning down, letting the back relax. You can walk your hands as far forward as you would like. Now let's walk our hands, scuttling the fingers like little crabs on the beach over towards the right side, feeling that nice stretch from the left tricep through the left lats, the latissimus dorsi, down the obliques and ribs. And then we're going to move over to the left side, feeling that same length, that same stretch along the right arm and the side body. Coming back to center, let's get into child's pose. We're going to come to our hands and knees. The knees can stay together or you can open them wide, whatever's most comfortable for you. I also have a bolster here. If your knees don't want to bend this much or the ankles aren't comfortable with this position, you could place a towel or a pillow onto your calves so that you don't have to bend the joints as much to sit the hips back in a relaxing position. As we breathe in, let's feel our back rising and expanding like we're inflating a new bouncy house version of ourselves. And on your exhale, deflate that bouncy house all the way down, completely empty, so it can be folded up and put back away in its carry case. Let's try that one more time, feeling ourselves rise and inflate, widening. Exhaling very, very patiently, imagining all the air that needs to be let out of that bouncy house so that it can be put away. Let's start to come up into our cow on our next inhale and into our cat on our exhale, really pressing the earth away. Inhaling, we look up where the air is, and so we breathe in some of it. And when we look downward on our exhale, that's where we put things when we're done. So we exhale out. This time, inhaling, we look up. Exhaling, sit back into your child's pose. Now we're going to start to move on the breath. Inhaling, we're going to step our right foot through between the hands. You can stay on your hands or maybe use some blocks to elevate the earth up to you if that allows you better posture. On our exhale, let's sit right on back again. Inhaling now our left foot through. And you want to step this foot, not just right here. You see how my back knee is under the hip and then I'm slouched? We want to bring the front foot further forward so we have a nice stretch in the back hip and we can elevate the heart higher for better posture, like your heart's trying to look out the windshield. So let's exhale back to child's pose again. Keeping what I just described in mind, let's inhale forward. This time, exhale, sit on back. Feel that nice hamstring stretch. And if your front leg doesn't get straight enough for a great stretch, go ahead and grab it and plop it on forward. Let's inhale forward. Exhale back to child's. You're going to feel the rhythm. Inhaling is forward, one movement, one breath. Exhaling is sitting back, taking those blocks with you if you're using them. Plopping that left leg straight forward if you need more sensation. Inhaling forward again. Exhaling, sitting back. We're going to keep adding on. Inhaling forward. Take time to step that front foot far enough forward. The knee doesn't go past the toes. Exhale, your right arm up in the air, the same arm as the front foot. Come on back down, breathe in. Exhale into your child's pose. Coming back up, left foot through. Step it far enough forward that we get that nice stretch in the back hip and the front knee is safe. Exhaling, raising the left arm. Getting that nice twist through the midsection, not just continuing to look down in the torso and flinging an arm somewhere. Inhaling your hand down. Exhaling to child's pose. We're going to keep going. Inhaling forward, right leg. Exhaling, rotation. Inhaling down. Exhaling the whole time you're stretching. Maybe even grow your throat forward towards your shoelaces. Coming on forward, breathing in. Exhaling, rotation. Inhaling, hand down. Exhaling, down dog. Spread the fingers out. Let your head bobble around. And glide forward into your plank. Breathe in. Exhale. I challenge you to put your knees down as slowly as you're able. Keep on exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, left foot through all the way forward so the knee's safe. Exhaling into our rotation. Press into your left big toe mound so you don't roll to the outside of the foot. Inhale, hand down, using your blocks or not. Sit on back. Get that great stretch and grow your throat forward. Inhale, come on forward again. Exhale, rotation. Left hand down, right knee up, breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Spread your fingers out and try to depress the suction cup of your palms. We want to feel the majority of the weight in the center of the palms, and we want to let it dissipate as the weight radiates out to the light fingertips. We've got a nice light pedal through the heels, and we're relaxing and bobble-heading. This time, let's glide forward into our plank. Place the knees on the ground, hands closer to the midline, so that as you lower down, you can hug your elbows in and save your shoulders. On your inhale, feet on the ground, lifting to a light cobra. Remember, snakes don't have arms. You shouldn't be too high. Come on back up, tuck the toes. Spread the fingers, exhale, bubble head. Move your lips around, move your tongue around. Pedal through the legs. Let's come back down to our hands and knees and step that right foot through again. Breathe in with your back knee down or not. Exhale into your rotation. Soften the left elbow. Hug the shoulders onto your torso and out of your neck, and keep pressing into the right big toe so you don't roll the ankle. Right hand down, left knee down. Sit back into your Ardha Hanumanasana, your half splits. Grow your throat forward. Coming on forward, breathing in, exhaling down dog. Glide forward, breathe in, knees or toes, but hands closer to the midline. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the ground. When you arrive into your cobra, remember, snakes don't have arms. Exhale back, down dog, bobble head, loose drawn fingers, spread out into the hands. Left leg glides up behind us this time. And tilt the heel back so we're opening for our hydrant pose. Coming back down, raising the right leg this time and opening the heel into our hydrant pose. Just let your left ear dangle heavy. Come on back to center. Let's glide forward, hands closer to the midline, on knees or on toes. Lower all the way or halfway to the ground. And then pull forward to cobra or up dog if your thighs are not on the ground. Lifting and rolling back to down dog. Pedal the legs, exhale forever, lighten your fingertips. This time, come forward onto your hands and knees. Inhale, look up again, cow. Exhaling, you could always be on your knuckles if the wrists are feeling sensitive, into our cat tuck. Stepping your left foot forward, breathe in. You may need to scoot your right leg back a little bit more. And then open up into your twist. This time around, you could be on the back toes instead of the back knee. Hug the shoulders back from the ears, soften your base elbow, and press into the left big toe mound. Left hand down, right knee down if it wasn't. Sit on back into your hamstring stretch, Ardha Hanumanasana. If you need to, you can always plop that heel where it needs to go, actively growing the spine forward, spinal elongation. Coming back to center, this time raise your right knee up and step, step, step into our forward fold. Now you're going to widen your feet to the mat width, soften the knees enough that you can touch the ground, and then let your head relax. Breathe in, nice and easy. Open up those toes, relax your jaw and shoulders. Exhale, what are we letting go of today? Inhaling, inflating the bouncy house version of yourself. Exhaling, letting go of more of our junk, more of our baggage, more of the things we're bringing with us that we need to let go of. Let's toe heel our feet back into hip width, which is if you put two of your fists together, your feet should flank your fists like bookends, and that is your correct hip width. Pressing into those feet, inhale to our half fold, pushing the hips back, growing the head forward. Exhale into our chair pose. So we're going to funnel these arms up and breathe in. We're going to get some nice upper back strength and chest space. And we're going to exhale out what we're not taking forward with us anymore, even if it's just that last previous breath you're letting go of. Funneling up, circling around, pressing out. Again, bringing it up, rolling it around, transforming it, exhaling it out on the raft of your breath so far away that it's not going to wash back in on the next wave. Last time, up, funneling, circling, and letting go. Let's come to the ground and step our right leg back and rotate into a nice straddle fold. So your toes are now facing the long side of your mat, and we're going to move side to side in the knees. If you have accidentally placed your hands too far forward, under your face, under your Mickey Mouse ears, your shoulders may be up in your neck. So let's move the hands back so they're under our belly, under our chest. Far more supportive and better alignment for the joints. As we go side to side, we're starting to space out some of the hips and knees, the outer ankles, the inner thighs. And we're actively spreading our toes apart, strengthening the structure of the foot, not continuing to cramp our toes as we accidentally do, which strains the arch. Let's just stop in the middle for a moment. On knuckles, on blocks, on our hands, or some of you may say that you actually need a little more stretch and you want to come down to your forearms. Or even down onto your head and reaching your arms out to the side to hold the feet. Wherever you are, breathe in and inflate a new bouncy house that looks exactly like your body. And as you exhale, you have to let every single bit of air go so that that bouncy house can be folded and put away in its small little Tupperware. One more time. Breathing in and out through the nose, even though that feels a little bit more challenging as we've begun to accelerate our heart rate, and usually the breathing would go a little shallow or choppy. We're working on mitigating or tamping down the stress response that we're triggering through our challenging physical poses. Practice for life. At this point, let's come back to our hands if we're not on them and rotate to the left. All this rotation helps clear out the cobwebs from the hips. And back to our down dog. Gliding forward, hands closer to the midline. Choose knees or toes. Choose if you're going to go half or all the way down. And then pull those collarbones through and up, level chin, and then lift and roll back to your down dog. We're going to do just a little bit more here to get our midsection awake, and then we'll move on from our warm-up. We're going to inhale up on our tippy toes. Exhale, tuck the pelvis toward the navel like an ocean wave is coming along your body, and then out through your mouth. Inhale, tail up. Exhale, tippy toes, coil the navel in and roll out to your flat plank. Let's try twice more. Spread the fingers up on the tiptoes, coil the pelvis toward the navel, out through your mouth. One more time. Tiptoes, tuck the pelvis to the navel, roll out to flat. Let's come gently down to our knees. Sit back into one child's pose to exhale, 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 exhale until I couldn't pay you to exhale anymore. And then we're ready to begin the body of our workout. Let's come to a standing position. And so let's soften the face. As you're starting to join me in your standing position, you can have your toes facing directly forward, not out to the sides a little bit. It externally rotates the hips out of alignment. So we want all of those toes facing forward. Your left shoulder you can roll back and down. Your right shoulder you can roll back and down. Feel like you're sliding your shoulder blades onto the back ribs with a level chin. A light lift in the collarbones and ribs. And a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis toward the navel, so we don't dump into the lower back and sprout a peacock tail. Let's start to raise into our circle sweeps again, breathing in as we come up. And let's come down into that namaste gesture again, but turn it outwardly towards the collective you of the rest of the universe. Pressing into our heels, lifting our arms up, remembering what namaste means to us, and not only directing it into ourself, acknowledging our worth and our worthiness of respect and dignity, and the fact that we have the divine spark within us, but turning that gesture out to the collective you, the rest of the universe, those we love, those we agree with, those we disagree with, those who we greatly disagree with, showing the same respect to all beings. Let's stand at the front of our mat, sweeping our arms up as we inhale, and exhaling ourselves down into a bent knee forward fold, stepping our right leg back, heel on the ground. Your right leg should be on the right lane of the two-laned road of your mat, and your left foot should still be in its own lane. We sweep up to Warrior One and we breathe in. On our exhale, a nice circle of our arms. Please touch the back of your right hip and the front of your left hip. With your left hand, pull that left hip back. With your right hand, push that hip forward. And now, instead of opening our hips with the back foot diagonal, we are squaring our hips forward correctly. Let's sweep our arms up again and breathe in. Notice the front knee is bent and the back leg is straight, and bringing that namaste gesture back down. This time, funneling up from the front as we did in our chair, exhaling the shoulder blades around and back, and let's interlace our fingers. Deeper bend in the front knee, and keep that nice edge of your back right foot rooted and your hips squared forward. Let's lean forward, looking down at our front toes, which are expanded, to continue finding our sound footing. Continuing the length in the right leg, pushing the knuckles back, lifting the navel up gently to support our lumbar spine. Remember, your front knee should not be in front of its shoelaces. Let's come back up into our Warrior One and breathe in. And let's open to our Warrior Two. Now, your right foot will turn a little bit more to the right instead of forward. Your left foot should still be facing the front of your mat. Breathing. Let's cartwheel on down into our lunge. Now we're on the back toes, no more heel on the ground. And exhale into our down dog or our three-limb down dog. If you're in four-limb dog, inhale, lift this left leg. And as you exhale, knee to nose. Inhaling back up, spread the fingers. Exhaling, knee to nose, coil the belly up. This time, inhaling left leg up. Exhaling, step it all the way through. And then pouring yourself with deliberate nature into your forward fold. Let go. Your knees are very, very bent, so your fingertips can touch and you can roll those shoulders out. Inhale up to a half fold. Push the hips back, reach the head forward. Exhale into our chair. Coming into our chair flow again, lifting up. Shoulders back and down, upper back strength. Exhaling, pressing our junk away on a raft, leaving our island. Again, up, around, and pressing forward. Watch out the knees don't buckle together in your chair. This time, sweeping up and from our standing position, stepping our second leg back. Use your right fingers to draw your right hip back. Use your left palm to push the left hip forward. Each foot is in its own lane of our two-laned road of our mat, and we're in our Warrior One with a front leg bent, back leg straight. Sweeping up, we open the toes, connecting to our sound footing, exhaling down to the middle. Sweeping up the center now, inhaling, arms around and back, interlacing the fingers, pressing the knuckles down, and our throat over our knee, over our heel. So if you were a little timid in your stance and that knee's unsafe, lengthen it out a bit more. Now holding this difficult position, this is a difficult, stressful, challenging time of your day. But finding that positive attitude and that long, healthy, pacifying the nervous system, long breath. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, now opening to our warrior two. Our back foot should be directly behind our front foot now. So we have perpendicular feet. They're both in the median of the road. Neither one is in a lane. Holding our warrior two. Breathing in. Exhaling, coming on down. Safely. And down dog or three-limb dog. Inhaling, lift the right leg if it wasn't before. Exhaling, knee to nose. Coil the belly up. Inhale, back up, fingers spread. Exhale, coil that navel up into an arc. Now this time, coil that navel up to create an underpass for the truck of your knee to glide on through into our long lunge. Take an inhale, collect some energy, and use it on your exhale to deliberately come back to your forward fold. Bend the knees, put the belly on the thighs, and relax the neck. Imagine your heavy, heavy cranium is maybe an 8 or a 12-pound bowling ball just hanging in the pantyhose of your neck, stretching that pantyhose out. Pressing into the feet, our toes face forward. Inhale up, exhale chair. Sweeping up, breathe in, and exhale out, hands to center. We're going to turn our right knee wide, placing our right heel on the left inner ankle bone for tree. It's more important that the shoulders are back and down, the chin is level, and you're pressing into the base foot than how high this leg comes. You can raise it as high as you would like, but don't raise it so high, listening to a misguided ego, that you miss your body's ability to enjoy the pose. Breathing in, steady vision. Breathing out, longer and calmer than you really feel. This time, inhale, the knee in front of you. Exhale, open to your warrior two. Remember, we're on the median of the mat. The left heel would hit the right arc. Let's come into our archer's flow. Inhaling, turning at the ribs, the torso facing that front knee, grabbing our bow and arrow and drawing back, keeping our sights set on our goals for this year. Inhaling, drawing back. Exhaling, what are we letting go of? Twice more, that nice rotation in the torso. Same position in the legs throughout the whole movement. Set the shoulders down. One more time, rotation, grab that arrow, set your sights on the future, and let go of the past. Let's inhale to our reverse warrior, and exhale into our side angle. Look at those left toes, make sure they're open, more pressure in the heel instead. Come back to our warrior two, straighten that front leg. Keep your arms level like a pilot's horizon line gauge, and just simply reach forward into triangle prep. Soften the neck, the fingers, the gaze, and the toes. Steady the breath. Now, right hand on your hip to eliminate that variable, and bend back to your warrior two into the front knee. We're going to work on something a little challenging today, half moon. So we're going to reach our left fingers down onto the ground, right outside the left pinky toe. Using a block or the ground, we're going to hop that right foot in, looking at the front right corner of our mat, hopping it in, maybe raising it a little bit and balancing. Maybe straightening the bottom leg, which you don't have to do. Actively push the right leg back so that it's energized, not hanging there as a heavy liability. And if you need more challenge, you could raise your top arm, you could look up, or you could hold the foot. Let's try to land softly. Back to warrior two. Whew. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cartwheeling down to frame that left foot. Right toes turn forward. Knee down, sit back, stretch in our Ardha Hanumanasana. Remember, the back hip should be on the knee. You can plop that front leg straighter if you need to. Coming forward, front knee over its heel. Now we're stretching the back front hip. Breathe in, raise the back knee. Breathe out, down dog. Bobble head, light fingertips. One time, inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, tuck the pelvis toward the navel, roll out. Come to the knees, breathe in. One child's pose. I want you to exhale longer than you think is possible. I'm going to do it too. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, forward fold. Bent knees, shimmy shoulders, relax the mouth. Turn the toes, all of them to face forward. Breathe in, half fold. And breathe out into your chair. You're going to stay on your mat, but I'm going to turn around so that you have a better view of the other side. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhaling, coming to our tree. Shoulders back and down. Turn your left knee open to place the left heel on the right ankle bone. If you have to look down to do that, roll the shoulders back and down again into your posture. Press firmly into the right foot and reach the lone candle on your cupcake. That lone birthday candle, reach it higher. If you feel you need more challenge, you could raise the foot up higher. Don't let that restrict your breathing though. Only go as far as is necessary. Moderation, just enough. This time, breathing in, raise the left knee. Breathing out, soften your right knee and try to land your warrior two. So we would need to be on the median of the mat. The right heel should intersect the left arch. Start our archer's flow. Inhale, we're rotating the torso, keeping the legs where they are. Exhaling, keep your sights on that front arm. What are we letting go of? Inhale. Now here's a safety issue for the front knee. As we rotate open, don't let that knee buckle in. So you're even more than ever actively drawing that front knee toward the pinky toe. Twice more. A bend in the front knee, straight in the back. Set down your shoulders. Last one, looking forward, not backward. What are we letting go of? We're not even looking at it. A nice reverse warrior, breathing in. Beautiful right side body stretch. Exhale into our side angle. Make sure the front knee doesn't protrude past the shoelaces. We might need to widen our stance. Pressing into the front heel, let's come back to two straight legs. And our arms are long like a pilot's horizon line. As we reach forward into our triangle prep, softening the neck, opening the toes. Steady vision on a spot just outside the left corner of your mat. We want to try to keep our arms level. Our pilot likes that level horizon line. She doesn't like it much when the horizon line looks like this. So keep the arms level. Steady breath, even if you don't feel steady inside. Fake it till you make it. Come on, back up into our warrior two. Breathe in, left hand on the hip. Breathe out your right hand outside the pinky toe, hopping the left foot in to do that. Look at the left front corner of your mat. Pour yourself until that left leg's able to lift just a little, building our strength. Or a little higher, never higher than the hip height. Or straighten the bottom leg is another option. If you still need it more challenging, you could raise the top arm or look up. That's a bit much for me. Or you could reach back and hold the foot behind you. These are all just options. And let's come down to our forward fold. Knees are bent. Shimmy out the shoulders. Half fold, press into those feet, hands on the hips, grow your head forward. Exhale, hands on the ground. Step your left knee back, please. Your left foot back. Knee on the ground. And let's sit on back into our half splits. Hips are reaching back like I'm behind you pulling your tail. And then you're actively growing your throat forward. It doesn't matter where your hands are. It matters more what your spine does. Breathing in, inflating the whole bouncy house version of yourself. Exhaling until that whole bouncy house could be folded and put away in a small container. Coming on forward, left knee up, breathe in. Exhale, down dog, our final down dog. Opening up the fingers, rolling the shoulders, bobble the head, a light heel pedal. Tippy toes, breathing in. Exhale, roll out to your plank. Hands closer to the midline, our final option for vinyasa. You can go right to child's now and skip the vinyasa. Or on your knees, or your toes. Exhale, hug the elbows in. Everybody, hips on the ground, low cobra. And lift the navel, look at the knees. Child's pose. Let's stay here for 3 breaths, inflating our bouncy house version of ourselves. And exhaling all the way until we're empty. Once or twice more on your own. And let's come on up. So at this point, we're going to lay on the ground. If you'll just adjust yourself onto your back, we'll begin with a little bit of a closing stretch time after that power sequence. So as you're making your way onto your back to join me, I'm just going to hug my knees in, and when you arrive on your back, you can join me. Now, it's such a simple movement, it's hardly even a yoga pose, hugging our knees to our chest, but it is. And it's the best way to re-neutralize the spine. So all of our work, maybe you come in from a workout, you've been sitting at a chair too far slouched forward, or you've been shoveling or raking, and your spine's really feeling it. You can just get on your back and roll side to side like this, giving yourself a little massage. Remember that any poses that feel good to you don't need to be done with a whole big class, but just randomly throughout your day. Now let's hold our right knee only and really push that left heel long. And then we're going to bring in the left knee and really push that right heel long. Now as you're doing this, I want you to imagine there's a string tied to your belly button, and I'm down in your basement, hanging from it. So don't let the extending leg pop your back up like this. Anchor that belly button down, or don't go as long with your leg. So let's guide one leg and push the heel out. Guide in the second leg, push the heel out, but all the while dimpling the belly down with strength, adding protection to the back. Now, your shoulders shouldn't be firm. Your jaw should not be tight. And if you're looking in the sky behind you, tuck your chin for better alignment and look at the sky in front of you. And let's just do 4 more. Shoulders and jaw soft, me hanging on your belly button string, and you responsibly deciding how far to go each time. And after that ab work, let's just hug our knees in, roll through the ankles, roll through the toes. We're going to put our feet on the ground, and together as one unit, like a merman, a mermaid, we're going to let those legs drop to one side. Whatever side is fine. We're going to do both. You can let your arms drape open and surrender. And now focus on inflating and deflating your bouncy house again. It'll be less twist and less stretch if your feet are closer to the foot of the mat. That can make it more enjoyable. If you need more sensation, the feet can be higher, the knees can be higher, or you could even put one hand to anchor the legs down. Your head should be facing whatever feels the best neck alignment for you. Hopefully you've been breathing while I'm describing, and we're going to finish up one more breath cycle before we try the other side. Let's put our hands palms down to anchor us. Engage that core, and only if your core feels like it's strong enough to do this and with safety today, we can switch to the other side without the feet on the ground. The slower you go is going to be much harder as we're eliminating momentum and then gravitational pull. And all the way down slowly. So if your feet are closer to the foot of your mat, it'll be a little less intense. And again, if you want to bring them up any higher, or even put your top hand on your knee, exhale. And remember, our theme today was letting go. So at this point, you might be letting go of any lingering thoughts that are still vying for your attention. You might let go of some of the waste products that we've worked so hard to release from our organs and muscle tissues with that active flow practice. Even just letting go of the stale breath that you just previously brought in, but has now been harvested of all its nutrients, and it just needs to go. Either with your feet on the ground, which is going to be a little kinder to the back, or if you still want one more challenge, feet not on the ground. And remember, the slower you bring the legs up, the better. And if we've come from our feet on the ground, we just roll onto our back and meet those that didn't have their feet on the ground with a knee hug. I have my ankles crossed right now. Your feet can be side to side. None of that matters anymore. Breathing in and breathing out. The last stretch that we're going to do is going to be really great for your hips and back. So we're going to put our feet on the ground. However, we're not going to keep them at hip width. We're going to walk our feet out to mat width. Notice my toes are off the mat and my heels are on. And in fact, I might reach down and bring my heel up closer on each side to my tush. Hands will be on the ground to anchor you. Relax your shoulders, your toes, and then move your lips around to show your dentist all your teeth. Relax the mouth. Then slowly windshield wiper side to side. You're going to feel that on that front hip, which gets really tight, and then into maybe the lower back. It'll depend where you're tight, where you feel the stretch. Please don't go fast. Just easy peasy side to side. So what we're stretching here is our hip flexor, and it's a very tight muscle for different reasons. Number one, it's the only muscle that connects your legs to your torso. So that's a hard-working muscle. It's also responsible for bringing the knee to the torso as you walk, as you go up steps, if you do the elliptical, if you run, if you cycle. And then the hips are also a repository for undigested emotions. So if you don't process your emotions and let them go in the best healthy timing, your hips can get tight too. So I think that's all of us. If you're doing this at home and one side feels particularly tighter than the other, you may just want to stay on that side for a few breaths. But even if you do that, remember that you're not forcing, you're not working, you're surrendering and allowing, remembering that that's why we're in this pose. So gravity will work for us. No matter how strong you think you are, gravity's stronger. So let it go. Let it go. And we're going to finish with a knee hug, re-neutralizing that spine. And then if you have a moment, you could just lay here after the tape stops and take 5 to 10 slow breaths. Once again, you would be breathing in, inflating a bouncy house. You would be breathing out, deflating it all the way, and just doing that 5 to 10 times before you go on with your day. Or if you've got to go right now, later on in your day, just breathe in and out slowly 5 to 10 times. And it's going to have a wonderful, wonderful benefit for your body, for your mind, for your nervous system, for your hormones, for everything. So thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you guys have a terrific rest of your day. Namaste.